Hello and welcome, everyone. This is the Hot Corner Insider Live Strategy session. We do this every Wednesday at 1 o'clock right here on Stock Market TV. It's going to be a short one today. We continue to cover, all the big top-down developments, macro developments. Been talking a lot about some of these divergences, whether it's breadth or risk appetite ratios. But I'm not too worried about them. We're going to make a list, and that'll be up on the website soon, of basically bearish data points, bullish data points, and then we'll just start to check off our lists. Hopefully get a clear answer soon. There's plenty in the bear camp, yet the large cap indexes just keep dragging higher. So it's kind of one of these situations where, is it something's got to give, or is it, wow, look at how strong the market is despite some of these bearish developments? I think an argument could be made both ways. Let's talk about it. First, our disclaimer. Nothing we discuss here today constitutes any solicitation to buy or sell any securities. This is all solely for informational purposes and not to be construed as investment advice. For more on our disclaimer, stockmarkettv.com/terms. What's up, chat? Mara vehicle hit big, Straza. Thank you, sir. Good. I love it when we're all making money. That was a good trade. We will I didn't bring Coinbase and Mara along today. Let me see if I can get them in here. We'll get them in here. Bear with me. Okay. So we will. We'll talk about that before we get off. I am completely out of Mara as of this morning. Sold a little bit. I think starting. I held through last week, but I've been selling a little bit almost each day this week. So good trade. Check back in. What a clean retest. Coinbase, same thing. And really, really ripped. So I was in calls. I think if I was in the common Mara, I'd be taking profits around here anyway. These pivot highs for a trade. Coinbase, I kind of like holding longer term. What's up, Doug? Hey, Sean. Sean wants to talk IWM. There's really nothing new to say about IWM. 200 is the level. It has tried so many times. It just fails over and over and over and over again. And it's a trendless market, right? This just sideways range that the Russell 2000 has been stuck in for like 2 years now. So you tend to see breakouts fail in both directions in range-bound markets. I don't think we should be surprised. It's just more of the same with the Russell 2000. I think it eventually goes. 200's a big level. Boy, is it taking its sweet time to complete this reversal. When you look around the market, other indexes, whether it's the sector indexes, industry groups, individual stocks, most of these bases completed a while ago. But Russell 2000 is not getting it done. I think there will be a time when we want to be overweight small caps and really focused on small caps, and fishing more and more in the small cap pond. We're just not there yet. That happens at IWM 200. Bermuda, cool. Holding the 50 MA. We use the moving averages. Sean said IWM is holding the 50 MA. Yeah, we tend to use the moving averages more as, trend indicators. They just tell us the direction of the trend. We try not to use them as support and resistance. Some do. Jets ETF, please. Airlines are not for me. We like leaders around here. Now, the airlines are what you call secular laggards. So, Coach Neal is asking about the Jets ETF, maybe for a trade, right? But it's not for the hot quarter, that's for sure. JetBlue is because of the Form 13 recently filed by Carl Icahn, but I think that's more just Carl Icahn doing his corporate raider thing. He's going to go in there, probably tell them to just forget the whole Spirit thing, move on. Stock doesn't look good. None of these airlines do. But anyway, Coach Neal, come to Chart Request Live, which we do this time. So this always happens a lot. We have people in the chat making ticker requests. Chart Request Live is on every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock, and there you can come in and just ask for any ticker, and we'll chart it live. So we'll be here this time tomorrow. If you want to bring that request, we'll chart it out. DraftKings earnings. I'm excited. I'm excited. A lot of big earnings reports coming up. At least ones that I care about. I think Coinbase is tomorrow as well. Monthly MACD, Wedge MACD. Sam, what chart are you talking about? Sam's making some money on Robinhood today. IEP, nope, I hate it. Had all those issues last year. I haven't looked at it in a long time. I don't like that. I don't like any of the these publicly traded hedge fund vehicles. If these guys are telling you that you're getting access to their hedge fund, literally the definition of hedge fund, most people can't access it. They're telling you can access their hedge fund through the public market. They're lying to you. IEP, I think Ackman has one now too. Same thing. All right, let's jump into it. Look, we'll go back to the chat before we close things up. Here's the thing. If you're watching the morning show, and I really think, shameless plug here that I think the morning show conversations and discussions, debates have been so good. Me and JC have been doing our little bull bear thing. So that's why I'm just going to keep kind of the intro short today because we're covering everything there every morning. So you can go check that out every morning, 8:30, and you could watch the replay right here on YouTube. So some of the stuff that's going to be on our bearish list, bear checklist, AD line diverging from the S&P 500. This is the NYSE AD line though, right? And we were talking this morning, it's quite close. I'm not going to overthink a divergence like that. If you squint your eyes a little bit, you can't really tell if it's a new high or not. It's right there. Dollar index, concerning. This is the dollar index inverted. Making new highs. Let me see what the dollar's doing today. Giving some back. But the dollar's been rallying. Do we look at that as something's got to give? Dollar can't rally and stocks keep moving higher with it. Eventually, stocks got to roll over. Do we look at that and say, wow, how resilient? How about that strength in equity markets if S&P 500 and other large cap indexes are just melting higher despite a dollar that's been higher for going on 7 straight weeks now? I don't know. Consumer discretionary versus consumer staples. A little bit of a divergence there, favoring the risk-off crowd, the defensive positioning, right? You want to see risk-on stocks, discretionary, outperform risk-off stocks, staples, in bull markets. However, if you look at staples relative to the S&P 500, they look terrible, right? So I wouldn't be too concerned about that one either. Treasury bonds, probably not the best. It's the same as the dollar for me. Rates are moving higher, pushing the new highs. Dollars moving higher, pushing the new highs, short-term highs. You would think rates and the dollar are falling. Stocks doing what they're doing. So again, we look at that as, oh, wow, how resilient. Look at equity markets go despite these headwinds. Imagine when these headwinds kind of fade away. If stocks are doing this well now, rates and dollars ticking higher, what do stocks look like if those two things roll over and start moving lower? Probably look even better, right? All this information, all these divergences, really been in place all year. S&P 500 just keeps chugging along. Big down day yesterday. Some spooky candles yesterday. Did you notice how things got bought up real hard into the close, though? That's bull market behavior, right? Bulls in control of the tape, dominating, late in the session on a really, really red day. Broad downside participation yesterday. But then you got these long wicks, these long lower shadows into the close. And then instead of bearish follow through today and the second consecutive red candle or down day, we're seeing follow through on that late day rally from yesterday, right? So no bearish follow through. We're going higher. The bears are having a real tough time. I tried to mark up some bearish chart patterns yesterday that looked like they were starting to go. All of them now today. Netflix is a good example. Netflix comes to mind. Go look at the Netflix chart. You could draw a little coil. Looked like it was breaking down. Now look at it today, ripping back higher. Right. So a lot of the damage from yesterday, maybe not for the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, right? But a lot of the damage from yesterday and other groups completely repaired in one day. So again, lack of bearish follow through, bulls bouncing back like that, just bull market stuff, right? Kind of tape that we would expect. So a good example of what I'm talking about, look at XLI these last 2 days. Big sell off yesterday, but then look at that lower shadow, right? And now follow through today, right back where we were coming into this week. Okay. This one has been the best evidence. Who'd have thunk it? Bitcoin giving us better information than the bond market right now? Heresy. How could he say that? The bond market, the mighty bond market. It's so smart, the bond market. Bitcoin's been smarter so far in 2024. Cryptos have been so strong. I think from a risk appetite perspective, what's more risk on than cryptocurrency? And it's not just Bitcoin going higher. I could show you our altcoin index. I could show you all of the strongest altcoins, SEI, SUI, AKT, Chainlink. Solana's just about there. They're all breaking out of multi-month consolidations, making new highs. The leaders in crypto are leading. Bitcoin, Ethereum, new highs. We'll talk about crypto before we finish. So this is the equal weight S&P 500, RSP. We're always looking for like a line in the sand, right? A clean level to say, hey, we're below, in this case, 155 in RSP, right? These pivot highs from last year. We're below 155 and we're back in the box. Then what looks now here as a completed trend reversal is no longer that, right? When we look at this chart now, if we're above 155, you can see the 200-day moving average, curling higher here, ticking up. If we're above 155 and the chart looks like this, path of least resistance is now higher. Primary trend reversal was just printed. New uptrend underway. If we're back in the box below 155, that's all undone. Back to trendless, range bound, messy. Everything I just said about the Russell 2000. So 155 RSP, I think that's a really clean level to use as like a simple signpost, to kind of guide us over the short term. We have some new setups today, and we have some old setups, but we have fewer setups than I guess We typically do, well, we've been doing this lately. We're just not trying to press things too hard. I'm all for new longs, right? The chart's breaking out and it looks good. We're buying it. We're not looking extra hard right now, right? Leidos Holdings, this is LDOS. CEO was the Form 4 buyer here. These guys, pay attention when you're going through TSA. You'll see this name on the machines. You go up and you got to put your hands over your head and like put your feet out, right? That's them. So LDOS, I guess it's listed as a cybersecurity name. Doesn't seem like necessarily cybersecurity, airport security, but security nonetheless. And this is a multi-year consolidation in the context of a strong structural uptrend. 112 is that level. Just got, the nice earnings beat and reaction higher. Maybe you get some sort of short-term weakness, brings you back towards that 112 level. I think that's a nice place to enter with a price target of 140. And if you don't get that short-term weakness, right, you do have this really what was a blow-off top back here. This is right before COVID. Look at this blow off and just rip lower. This is the COVID crash. So you could use this, right? If we don't get weakness back towards 112, this little peak here from when was this? Yeah, February of 2020 comes in right around 125. You can enter on strength there. And then you can expand the price target to 183, maybe use the 261. Regardless, you have this nice little rectangle pattern, this nice little range. It's going higher. Apollo Global Management, you guys know how I feel about these private equity companies as asset managers. They've been really strong, whether it's KKR or Apollo. I'm in Carlisle. There's a number of them. They keep breaking out, hitting price targets. We've already had one price target hit in Apollo. We're above 103. We want to stay long, or we can define our risk there now, I guess, on a little bit of weakness with a price target of 138. This is a good base. Ball Corp, BALL. Want to see more relative strength out of this name, but it is very clean. If we're above 61, long with a target of 74, was that about 25%? Could be a nice trade there. 61 to 74. Moon Lake Immunotherapeutics, MLTX. This is Cormorant Asset Management, Form 4 filer. Couple $1 million. This was just in October. They're buying at the lows in October. Oh, I guess it kind of bottomed out in November. So they're buying over around here. Finally got the breakout, well-tested level here. The chart is very zoomed in, right? So it's a range, but it's a short-term range. It's nothing like this range in Leidos, right? This is 4 years. Moon Lake, we're going back to July, just last summer. Point remains, market keeps telling us this level is important. We're about to take it out right now. Let's see what the stock's doing today. Biotechs keep looking good. I know it's not being reflected at the index level per se, but we keep seeing some sweet setups in biotechs. More and more charts breaking out. MLTX is now in that category. We're trading around 62.50 today. So we want to buy this one on strength, about $1 higher with a target of 81. Blue Owl Corporation, Owl. This one looks like it is about to take out those prior cycle highs. They come in right around 1785. Nice candle today, up about 3.5%. Yeah, Owl's looks poised to make new all-time closing highs here today. So this one perfectly actionable right here. Momentum overbought, not shown in the chart. I'm looking on my other chart. So we're getting that confirmation. 1785, like it long, target about, just below 24. Put a risk reversal on this one today. It's a leader. It's a semiconductor. It's a mega cap. It's an AI name. AI. Thomas Suozzi, House of Representative member. He likes it. I like it too. Look at how clean it is. If we're above those prior cycle highs, 164, gotta own this. We've seen other charts. Didn't bring NVIDIA today, but pull up NVIDIA if you're following along at home. NVIDIA looked like this when it was at, I don't know, 340, 730 today. My point is, NVIDIA, Broadcom, Microsoft, Meta now, right? They have taken out their prior cycle highs from late 21 or early 22 and have gone on to hit 1, 2, in some cases 3 now price targets. AMD is just taking out those prior cycle highs now. We risk a couple bucks here if we're stopping out at about 164, right? So our downside risk is not just very clearly defined and clean at these prior cycle highs, but we'll probably know pretty quickly and lose very little if we're wrong on this trade. I'll probably be out around 160 max, give it a little cushion, right? But boy, if this holds 160, sold some puts, selling puts out here today. Sold some puts, 155 strike out in August. Bought some calls. If this one looks anything like its peers that broke out of similar patterns as one AMD is breaking out of now, if it looks anything like its peers, the NVIDIAs and the Broadcoms of the world, by August, that's going to be a great trade. Trading the common, 164 all day. Like I said, you give it to 160. Everybody's different. Target of 233. UiPath. If you're not already in it, yeah, this one is perking up. I really like it. Have a position 2650. If you're looking for a level to now buy on strength, right? Because where's our original risk level? 2250. We're at 2580 now. So if you want to enter on strength now, maybe we don't get weakness back towards 2250. Because look, we got the breakout and the retest. Probably don't get another one unless this thing's going to fail and fall back in the box. So on strength above 2650 is another way to do this. You also have that VWAP from the post-IPO all-time highs, or just about all-time highs, coming into play here. Really like this base. Price target of 40. So ARK Invest name. CrowdStrike, CRWD, one of the strongest stocks in the market. Looks a lot like AMD, bringing it along because, wow, what a leader it's been. We love cyber stocks. CrowdStrike, up there with Palo Alto as one of the industry leaders. And it's very actionable here at these prior cycle highs. So 297, long, with a price target of 424. This thing's so strong. Pressing back towards, looks like it's ready to close at a new all-time high today. Trading around 332. Uber Technologies, I think we've been saying on the show past couple weeks, Uber's a cash cow now. They're going to have to start paying a dividend. The investors are going to demand it. If you look at their financials, right? I didn't think it would happen this fast. And they one-upped me. Instead of the dividend, they announced a $7 billion buyback. So what a classy move. Dara Khosrowshahi and Uber management just continues to deliver and make all the right moves. I don't know if there's a better, leadership team out there right now. I think he's one of the best operators in corporate America. What he did with this company over the past few years is incredible. And Wall Street just continues to reward the stock price for it. All-time highs for Uber today. It's up like 12%. Lyft finally, had a solid earnings report. And then Uber was like, hold my beer, and announced a buyback, which is literally like larger than the market cap of Lyft. Uber continues to be the name that we want to be in. So if we're above, what is it, about 60? We're long, but it's really not actionable here. This is more, I just wanted to, bring along, show that it's working. And we're getting that breakout to all-time highs on relative terms, which is just the best confirmation, right? So this chart here in the lower pane, Uber relative to the S&P 500, breaking out of an almost identical pattern on relative terms as the one on absolute terms. This is confirming these new all-time highs and this breakout in the absolute chart. And here are the levels. Not only is he a great operator, back in May of 2022, Dar bought stock, more than $5 million worth of stock. So this was May 9th, basically at the lows, around $23 a share. That's the kind of CEO you want running your company. Comes in there, does all the right things, buys the stock when it's in a massive drawdown, nobody wants it, right at the bear market lows, in size. We joke sometimes on the morning show about some of these tiny CEO purchases. CEOs, I think it's safe to assume, are paid really well. So you're going to come out and buy $100,000 worth of stock. I don't know. I like the way he did it. $5 million at the lows, right? Great CEO, one of my favorite CEOs. 64 is that level. Next stop, 91 for Uber. Told you we get to the cryptos. So we talked about these. We've been talking about these everywhere. Past few weeks, we had an absolute ripper out of this base Q4 of last year and a really hard throwback. A throwback with this little corrective wave that should have surprised no one, despite what seems like a pretty aggressive sell-off. Like in the case of Coinbase, we fell, 37% in a matter of a month, just over a month. But what a gift this was. How clean. Right back, checking in. These prior highs. 115. What a great entry that was. Coinbase is working. I think, if you're going to trade it, fine. You can use these pivot highs, but that could happen really quickly. And I think, anybody with a longer time frame, you let this one dance a little bit. Marathon Digital, same thing, only you even got the failed break back in the box, trap the bears. Everybody gets short here on the break back into the box below 19, right? Dance around a little bit, rip right through it. Look at that squeeze. Heavily shorted name, right? So you got a little squeeze there. Everybody got short. Shakes higher. Everybody's got a cover. You get candles that look like the ones we've had since last week. So great trade, everybody. That's really it. Let me check the YouTube. See what we missed here. Wow. You guys are chatty today. Again, any requests, bring them to the Tuesday or Thursday chart request live at 1 o'clock. You have to consider inflation levels even while the dollar is getting strong. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you have to consider inflation levels. We consider inflation. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Make Canada great again. Love that. Rug pullers got rug pulled. Funny, Josh. I see what you're saying. Sam with the Dixie call. We'll see. TLT, bullish engulfing candle today. Really? Don't tell JC that. Yeah, because he's been making a great point about these new multi-month lows. No, it was new 52-week lows. No. He's been making a good point about these new multi-month lows in treasuries and TLT. And if this bullish engulfing, you're right, really nice bullish engulfing after the gap lower, this could be a little failed break, a little shake and go in TLT. And that would be definitely one for the bulls. TLT is, print this bullish engulfing, follow through tomorrow, back above those pivot lows. Then that goes on the bull list. Talk about your decision to trim Mara. It was, my calls are going to expire. My calls went 10x in 2 weeks. I think that's all you really need to know about that. Still very bullish on crypto longer term and very long, just not long Mara. And yeah, I'll probably be in it again. I was in it a couple times last year. Again now, sure I'll be in it again. I love it as a trading vehicle. Sure I'll be in it again before 2024 is said and done. ETF approval. Yeah, Louis been all over that. Bitcoin seals it as a preferred risk-on vehicle. I think the information that we get from Bitcoin is so great. Yeah, I can't think of a more risk-on asset, at least a large one. Uber Investors Day today. Yeah, I mean, it's a great story. It's a great story. UiPath is banking software? I don't think so. That was cloud computing. Excuse me. Got a cold. Buying bonds, huh? All right. Yeah, maybe they scoop and score here. I'm interested in this TLT chart. If that hooks higher, that's tradable. Am I watching Tesla? Not really. Taylor Swift for president. You guys make me laugh. All right. This was fun as always. Thanks for joining, everybody. Join us next week, same time, same place, right here on Stock Market TV. In the meantime, join us on the morning show, 8:30 to 10 every morning. Me, JC, Spencer Israel. Until next week, everybody take care.